is the first time that I'm actually setting up the FX6 for a full day wedding. So, just thought I'd show you the most basic rig that I am going to use for today's wedding. Just realised that the lens I'm going to be using has got an ND filter on it, which I won't need because the FX6 has internal NDs. I mean, as you can see today, the weather is incredible. Not a cloud in the sky. I feel like the internal NDs, even though I think the ND on this, the mist filter, was 2 to 9 or 2 to 5 stop. Apparently the ND filter built into the FX6 is 2 to 7 stops. So it's a little bit stronger than I'm used to, so we shall be fine. But I'm gonna also test auto NDs today. So anyway, yeah, this is just the most basic rig setup for the FX6 that I'm gonna be using for weddings. First thing you'll notice is that it's got two things on it. I've got the tilter battery plate in the back. So obviously I can attach a V-mount, and I've also got the Manfrotto plate just always attached to the bottom as well. Oh, I need a V-mount battery, don't I? There's going to be other stuff that I'm going to get out the other side of the bag, like a couple of cables. I'll put the bare bones together now so you can see what it looks like when it's built. The components are as the FX6 with the plate and the battery plate on the back, the tilter V-mount battery plate, the side handle, the top handle, a V-mount battery, and the viewfinder. It is technically called a viewfinder, but it's basically a mini monitor. So if you're shooting without a monitor, I'd say sometimes it's enough. If you don't know already, I work with Atomos. It'd be stupid for me to not use a monitor really, just because they are the best monitors on the market. I'll be using a Shinobi 2 today as well, by the way. Let's get this on now. Because I am going to be using a monitor, like I say, I always try and put the viewfinder at the back, just so it's like tucked away a little bit, but I can also tuck it away, as you'll see in a sec. What I love about these RE locking pins is once that's locked in, there's no spinning, so that's really cool. Viewfinder on, let's get that on there. So I have it tight enough where I can like obviously tilt it up and down, but there's enough in it where if I need to move it, then it's flexible enough to move. So with the FX6, it's got these cable tidy things. I don't even know what they're called really, but basically just tuck your cables away so it's a little bit neater, a bit tidier. So obviously already the top handle, the side handle are on, and it just looks quite neat already, and I've still got enough room to grab it, and obviously grab it with the side handle as well. Small rig battery, 99 kilowatt hour. One thing I will say with the 99 kilowatt hour, they are the max you can travel with. With these, you can get up to, I believe it's the 212 kilowatt hour batteries, and they obviously are double the size and obviously a lot more powerful. You can't travel with them. If you travel with them in your hand luggage, apparently some airlines will stop you getting on. I've never tried it and I'm never going to try it, but for me, 99 kilowatt hour is well enough. And then, second to last thing going on is the lens. So today I'm using the Sony 28-70 f2 with a Polar Pro black mist. Now obviously already that's like a little bit weighty, but I think the good thing with having this camera doesn't have in-body stabilization, so having it a little bit heavier will naturally balance it when you're carrying it around. Obviously I don't want to have it too heavy because I've got to walk around a wedding all day with it on, so you've got to make sure that it's light enough where you're comfortable, but then heavy enough where it can balance as well. Now I need to put the monitor on, but I need to get some stuff out the bag. Couple of things I'll be getting out the bag. A D-tap to dummy battery, which obviously will be powered from the V-mount, a long HDMI cable. One of the reasons I'm looking at getting the Ninja TX is because it has SDI capability. So once I'm using the SDI, I'll be able to obviously get the feed from the SDI, and because they're locking cables as well, it's just a little bit tidier and a little bit neater to kind of rig it all up. Camera, yeah, doing content. I just look like I'm talking to myself. Right, so I use this this tilter monitor mount, which is locking in. It's great and it works really well, but the one thing that I miss versus having a smaller rig, on my old handheld setup, you've got like the let me show you. This is the top handle I was using for the FX3, and it's got like a swivel head on it. So once it was locked in, you could just like loosen it and then obviously move it up and down. But with this, with it having completely locked in, once it's locked in place, it's not moving, which is not a bad thing. But if I'm doing like low down shots, that's great. But if I'm up here and I want to move the monitor up, I've got to physically put it down, unlock it, and then move it back up to me. Whereas if I was shooting, like I say, handheld with the FX3, I could literally just have the monitor, like hold the camera like that and move the monitor up and down. So that's something that I'm going to try and figure out. But if you've seen something that can do it, I mean, I could maybe put one of these on top of that, but I don't want to make it any bigger. So if you've seen something that might work better, let me know in the comments. D-tap 2, I'm still trying to figure this out. So I think if I feed that through underneath the top handle, that would make more sense, I guess. But I'm trying to keep the load low and not too bulky either. So keep that cable tucked away like that. So that is now tucked into the side. You can see that it's quite tidy. I think it's tidy enough for now. So one last thing is a solid HDMI cable. So I use these cables from Alvin's Cables, and they are the best, if I'm honest. They're just very, very sturdy. But this is why I really want to use a...
Water.
Oh, thank you so much, cheers. Water in this heat is a must. So the venue keeping us well looked after, and it's appreciated. One thing that I want to do is with this now, is I need to figure out how I'm going to keep this tidy really, because the D-tap, which I'll plug it in and I'll show you, the D-tap runs right next to the HDMI port. But you can see at the back, let me just try and get that in focus. So you can see that the D-tap is right next to the HDMI. Obviously you don't want them knocking on each other just in case one comes loose, and then obviously, I mean, if the power goes off, then you're stuck. Obviously if the HDMI comes out, it's not the end of the world. Yeah, I could put the HDMI, the D-tap down that way, but I think there is slightly tidier. But as you've just seen there, with the cable management system on the FX6, that just works a little bit nicer that side. I think moving forward, see, that's gonna do me head in. The HDMI is kind of like sat right where my hand's gonna be. Let's just try this one more time. I just don't like the placement of the HDMI, if I'm honest. I think that's where we're at. Fully set up. I think that's where I'm gonna keep it. It's a little bit heavy to be putting on a tripod. The tripods that I travel with are the K&F carbon fibre. I'll put the link down below if you want to look at them, but I'd say they're probably a little bit too flimsy to shoot on with the FX6. You want something a bit more sturdy, and they do look a bit wobbly, but the B cam today is the FX3, which I'm shooting on now. So that on the tripod is fine. The second tripod, which is exactly the same tripod, will be manned by me. So although it's slightly wobblier or more wobbly, I'm going to be there to keep an eye on it. Basically, it should be fine. Let's power the camera on. Let's get some shots. But ultimately, that is the FX6 build. If you're thinking about getting an FX6 for a wedding, maybe follow along the journey and see how I get on, because it's pretty stressful, to be honest with you. I think using the FX3 is a little bit easier. Your life's a little bit easier because you've only got to worry about handheld camera opposed to like this rig. Like, it's not too heavy, but also I think I've got out of the mindset now of, I used to kind of say to couples that I was used to kind of hide in the background and shoot on longer lenses, but I've never really been that videographer. I've always been someone who's like, not in your face, but at the same time, I want you to know that I'm here. We're gonna have a good time together and stuff on your wedding day. So bringing a massive camera probably is a bit of a turn off in certain respects. I love it. Image quality is incredible, and look at the weather. I mean, internal NDs is absolutely not necessary because I've been using Polar Pro NDs for a long time, and honestly, they're incredible, and I'm still using a Polar Pro filter on here now, just the Peter McKinnon 135 Black Mist. But yeah, if you like this video, give us a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you on the next one.